The dining room smelled of roasted chicken and warm bread. My parents were talking about the week, my brother was on his phone, and my sister, well, she was ready. I walked in with my laptop bag, slung over my shoulder, a small folder tucked inside. I had been working on a new project all month, pouring my nights into something that could change my life. My sister noticed immediately. Playing entrepreneur again, she sneered, loud enough for everyone to hear. Her tone carried that familiar mix of amusement and disdain, the one that used to make my stomach churn when I was younger. Everyone laughed. My parents chuckled awkwardly. My brother smirked. The laughter hit me like a splash of cold water. For a moment, I froze. The old instinct rose, the one that made me shrink, apologize, laugh along to make it stop. But something had changed in me over the years. I wasn't that person anymore. Hey, if you enjoy my content, please subscribe and hit the bell. Your support means everything and helps me keep creating. Thank you so much. I set my bag on the chair, unzipped it, and took out the folder. I placed it on the table with care, making sure it landed with a soft thud that cut through the last echoes of laughter. My sister frowned. What's that? I opened it and began flipping pages. Charts, plans, contracts, growth projections, photos of products I had developed, client emails, screenshots of investors' confirmations. Every page told the story she refused to believe, that I had been serious, persistent, and successful. I didn't say anything at first. I let them look. I let the silence stretch. The laughter died slowly. My sister's smirk faltered. My parents leaned in, eyebrows raised. My brother stopped scrolling. Finally, I spoke, calm and deliberate. This, I said, pointing to the folder, is what I've been building while you were busy mocking me. Every night I worked. Every setback I faced. Every rejection I turned into progress. The room was quiet. I smiled lightly, not smugly, but with steady pride. I'm not playing. I'm creating. And it's working. My sister's lips pressed into a thin line. My parents exchanged uneasy glances. My brother blinked, caught off guard. The moment stretched, heavy with realization. I didn't need to yell. I didn't need to justify myself. The work, the proof, the success, everything spoke louder than words could. And in that quiet room, for the first time, I felt truly seen. Not by everyone, but by the only person who mattered, myself. After that night, things didn't immediately change. My sister still whispered behind my back. My parents still offered half-hearted praise, as if they were afraid of fully admitting I had succeeded where they doubted me. My brother didn't tease me anymore, but he wasn't exactly supportive either. But I didn't need them to be. The truth was laid out in that folder, and I had the proof. I started showing potential clients the project I had been working on, a line of eco-friendly household products that combined modern design with sustainable materials. The reaction was instant. Emails followed, meeting requests, small investments that turned into larger ones. I worked tirelessly. Days bled into nights. My apartment was cluttered with prototypes, invoices, and packaging samples. There were moments of exhaustion where I wondered if it was worth it, but I reminded myself of that night. The laughter, the mockery. Every time I considered giving up, I pictured my sister's face, and it fueled me, not revenge, but determination. Then came the first big break. A local retailer agreed to carry my line. It was small, just a handful of stores, but it was validation. The first shipment sold out within 2 weeks. Social media attention followed, and suddenly people outside my immediate circle were noticing. They weren't asking, is she serious? They were asking, how can I get this? By the end of the first year, I had expanded to online sales nationwide. I hired a small team to help with production, marketing, and customer service. The workload was immense, but the satisfaction was unmatched. For the first time in my life, I felt the weight of independence and pride in equal measure. I kept track of my finances meticulously. Every profit, every investment, every reinvested dollar was a building block. I didn't just want to prove them wrong. I wanted security. For me and for my future. I learned to negotiate contracts, manage supply chains, and balance books. Skills I had never been taught at home, but had to learn quickly to survive and thrive. Every time I visited my parents after that, I carried a subtle power with me. I didn't flaunt my success. I didn't brag, but they could see it in my posture, my confidence, the way I spoke about my work with authority. My sister tried the same old jabs, but they had lost their sting. The laughter that used to cut through me now felt hollow. I had grown beyond needing their approval. Then came the big opportunity. An investor approached me after seeing my online presence. They were impressed with my innovation, my tenacity, and my growth trajectory. Within a few months, I had secured significant funding to expand production and reach international markets. I thought back to that family dinner, the night she mocked me, the folder on the table, the silence that followed. I had been nervous, unsure if showing them would make a difference. But it didn't matter. The impact wasn't immediate recognition from them. The impact was the awakening inside me, the realization that I had control over my life, my success, and my future. My parents eventually noticed, of course. My sister, too, though she never admitted it. I didn't seek their validation. I didn't expect apologies or admiration. I simply let the results speak. Every shipment, every satisfied customer, every investor meeting was proof that I had built something real, something lasting, something no one could mock or diminish. Years later, I looked back on that dinner and smiled. The laughter, the derision, the doubt, they had all been fuel. They had forced me to work harder, to dream bigger, and to trust myself when no one else would. I had been mocked, dismissed, and underestimated. But in the end, I wasn't just playing entrepreneur. I was living my life on my terms, building a future my family couldn't touch, and proving that resilience, vision, and hard work could turn any ridicule into success. And quietly, without confrontation, without speeches, I had done exactly what I set out to do, become unstoppable. Months later, my sister tried the same old jabs at a family gathering. Still playing entrepreneur, she sneered. I smiled calm. I didn't need to respond. My phone buzzed quietly in my bag. Sales notifications, new orders, messages from investors. I looked around the table. The laughter had vanished. My parents exchanged awkward glances. My sister froze. I realized then that the proof wasn't in words or arguments. It was in results. I had built something real, something lasting. I was no longer the person she could mock or dismiss. I leaned back, confident. They could laugh if they wanted, but I was already living the life they never believed I could.